Joining me now is Larry Winget. Larry's a best-selling author, television personality, and social commentator. His latest book, Grow a Pair, How to Stop Being a Victim and Take Back Your Life, Your Business, Your Sanity, is a New York Times and Wall Street Journal bestseller. Larry, so why did you decide to write a book and specifically to name it Grow a Pair?
Well, Grow a Pair is a statement most people are familiar with, and they know exactly what it means. I wrote this book, as I do all of my books, this is my sixth bestseller, in response to a problem I see going on in society. And the problem I see is that we become a society of wimps and weenies who don't know their core values, don't stand up for themselves, don't have much of a backbone. We've become so politically correct that we're afraid if we say anything, it might offend someone, and we get offended way too easily. So I wrote a book that takes that on in every area of life and business.
So tell us how Growing a Pair then directly relates to personal finance. Let's start there. I know you talk about that a lot in the book.
Well, the best way to feel like you're in control and to feel powerful, and this is a book that helps you feel more powerful in your own life and how you run your life. The best way to do that would be to get in control of your finances. I think it makes sense to work from a budget, even if you're in the hole. Once you know where you stand in every area of life, but certainly with your money, when you know where you stand, that is a position of power. Even if you're in the negative, you know where you are and you know what you need to do, and you can create a plan to fix it. So personal power comes from knowing where you are, who you are, what you believe in, what you stand for, having a plan to get better or to fix any problem you have. All of those things, personal power, especially with your money.
So it's running a household like a business. I mean, the reality is, even if businesses are heavily positive cash flow, they always have to have a budget. They're expected to. In fact, you talk about how to grow a pair in your own business a little bit in the book. Talk to us for a moment about that.
Well, when you look at most businesses, it's a shame that we've gotten to the point that we have the inmates running the asylum. We have too many business owners and too many companies who are running scared from their employees, who wouldn't dare go to an employee and say, look, I expect you to be here on time. Really, because what if that employee sued them? I say it's better to fight people on the outside than from the inside. And the problem is, once you start to tolerate bad behavior from your employees or even from your customers. We spend way too much time putting up with bad customers who don't pay us and so forth. But when you tolerate, you are in essence endorsing it. And why would you ever endorse bad behavior? We need to clearly communicate to the people who work for us as company owners and bosses. We need to communicate our expectation and impose consequences. In other words, we expect people to work when they come to work, get there on time, do what they're paid to do, give us all of their time. When you've got 25% of American workers who work in an office job on spending their time on personal business, 2 hours of their day, 25% of their time on personal business, that's called stealing. We've got to stop putting up with stuff like that. And it comes back to you need to grow a pair and shoot your employees straight.
It's like the personal finance game. You know, if you get off on the wrong foot and you get used to spending more than you make, it becomes a habit. And the same is true here. If you allow people to get away with things early on when they first come aboard, then it's hard to change it. If you try to change it, it's always easier to start off on the right foot than it is to try to change it after the fact. Do you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And see, that is one of the problems we have right now. We have people who are so tolerant and used to putting up with bad behavior and bad service and so forth, and now they suddenly want to make a change. And I give people some ways they can make a change in here about learning to speak up for yourself and speak up for what's right. And that's hard to work backwards. Take that into parenting. I wrote a best-selling parenting book, and I have a lot of people say, look, my 16-year-old is out of control. Well, listen, your 16-month-old wasn't in control. And now you're expecting to go in and at the age of 16 and suddenly have a great kid who listens to you and behaves and minds you when you tell them to do something. You've got a hard road ahead, because now you're working in arrears. You need to start early, start young, whether it's with kids or with your employees.
That's great advice, Larry. That absolutely is. In the last minute we have here, You know, are there any other secrets for people who just aren't as proactive? I know you and I own businesses, so we're very proactive individuals. We're very honest with ourselves. Not everyone's like that. Any other secrets you can share with viewers who might be just a little shyer than us?
Well, first of all, there are no secrets. I don't believe in secrets. I think everybody knows what it takes to be successful. The problem is never that they don't know, it's that they don't do what they know. Here's what I tell folks to do. Get you 3 sheets of paper. Write down where you are in your life, your business, your finances, your relationships. Make a list of how your life looks right now. On the second sheet, tell me how you'd like for your life to look. And so now you have parallels. This is how it is. This is how I'd like for it to be. On the third sheet, figure out what you're going to give up to get from where you are to where you want to be. Success is about sacrifice. You can't have it all. You're going to have to give something up. You don't get rich. You give up what's making you broke. You don't get skinny. You give up what's making you fat. That's how it always works. So what are you going to be willing to give up? If people will do those 3 sheets of paper, their life will turn around.
So we have the 3 sheets of paper. We have figuring out what's really important to you in your life you're not going to sacrifice. But the first step for our viewers, the first step is go out and buy Larry's book, Grow a Pair, How to Stop Being a Victim and Take Back Your Life, Your Business, and Your Sanity. I think that's a great first step. Larry, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Great. And for our viewers, stay right with us. We'll be right back talking about debt in just a minute, right after the commercial break.